wanted to share with you a couple of cautions, and these are cautions that we would share with anyone, and I'm sure that none of you on the phone would ever consider some of these things, but they're common enough that we thought we should mention them as people consider running. The main thing is that we urge you to be clear why you are running for the school board. There are three things that we suggest you keep in mind. One is, don't run for office in order to run the school. Back in the 1800s and the early 1900s, school board members ran the school. They were the administrators, they were the custodians, they stoked the fire, they did the repairs on the building, they may provide transportation, they may house the teacher, and it was a whole different endeavor. These days we have professional educators who we hire to run our schools, and it's very important that boards play a high-level oversight role, helping set the vision, set the parameters, as Harry explained, monitoring to make sure that we're getting what we are paying for, make sure that we're communicating with the community. But if your desire is to run the school, literally, then we would urge you to go down the professional educator track, because that is not the role of a school board member. A second caution, don't be a one-issue board member. Everybody runs for the school board for a reason. We all have a motivation for why we get into this. We either want to provide a service for our community. We want a great education for our children or grandchildren. We may be concerned that the district has been spending too much money and has not been operated efficiently enough. There's some kind of reason that motivates all of us. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm urging you to do is keep in mind that when you join a school board, you will be asked to engage in a wide range of decision-making that Harry has already described. And this is a big business. Most school district budgets are in the millions of dollars. Collectively, we are a $1.5 billion enterprise in the state of Vermont. And it is important that board members approach this work broadly and with a clear sense of what the overall mission is. So if your agenda is to get rid of the principal or to add a particular math program that you've seen in some other school, or to specifically cut the budget by 10%, but you don't have a broad interest in the process of governing public education, it's probably not a good idea to run for the school board. You may have opinions about any of the things that I mentioned, but be cautious that if you're driven by one issue, it's number one, not helpful to the board, and number two, it's not the role, because your town needs board members that are going to be paying attention to all of the issues that are required to be attended to by a board. And the last comment is, we urge you to be sensitive to conflicts of interest. Sometimes board members get on boards and they think, well, as a board member, maybe I can influence who my fourth grader is going to have for a teacher next year. Board members really do not get any kind of special treatment. The power of a board member comes through the board of directors acting as a board, not based on their individual role. And it's very difficult in Vermont, this whole conflict of interest issue, because everybody's related to somebody, and that if you put out your roof for bid, it's not unusual for some relative of a board member to bid on it. I mean, there's all kinds of potential problems, but we urge you to be very sensitive to issues of conflict of interest, because your community's faith in you as a community institution to be fair and focused on the interests of students and taxpayers will be compromised if those issues enter in. So just a couple of cautions to begin. Be clear about why you're running.